Alright, here we go. Black Hills Sprint Enduro 2021. I want to start this out by saying thank you, George, for bringing Sprint Enduros to Colorado. This was super fun. It was a little dry and dusty, but you can't control nature. So this was a 8-lap race where we did 4 laps on test A, 4 laps on test B. They were shorter distances, but it was flat out intense. Kind of a lot like racing motocross, where it's everything you got until the end. But unlike motocross, we did it 8 times in a row. So like the other Sprint Enduro series, we were allowed to mountain bike this before the race. I did not make it all the way this test, so part of this is the first time I've ever seen it. I did ride all of Test B, which was the grass track that'll be coming up here in a little bit. Big change for me this year. This is the first time I've ever ridden with a recluse clutch. I fractured my hand last year and was having fatigue problems. I put the XC gear bar mount on, which made a huge difference. But during the 4 races down in Texas, I was still having problems with my clutch hand fatiguing. So despite the ridiculous price tag, I pulled the trigger on it. I still have mixed feelings about whether or not I like it. There's certain attributes of it that I really like and other things that I don't. I love the small technical crawling capability, but it feels like it kills some of the snappiness when you get on the throttle really hard. So coming up here is the AB split. So we're gonna jump off into this canyon, which I believe the C group did not ride. So we started in 15-second intervals, which spreads us out and helps mitigate the dust, but sometimes you still get caught up. Come on, dude. As a whole, this track was pretty fast. There was some technical areas, but a ton of it was 3rd, 4th, 5th gear just screaming fast, which personally I like. See, it's interesting that recluse, you can kind of hear it having to work the bike to get it back into the power. Once it's going fast, I don't notice it at all. And going super slow, it's awesome. Being able to crawl without stalling your bike is kind of bizarre, not something I'm used to, but I'm sure I'll find a use. If I wind up hating the thing that much, I'll sell it on eBay. I do gotta say, for hot weather, if you guys have never tried out that Fly Kinetic Mesh, that stuff is incredible. It's basically riding gear that's made completely out of mesh. It breathes better than anything I've ever worn. So next few laps I found a straight line around this. You can see I get hung up pretty bad right here. It's probably what cost me the 5 seconds. So I wound up finishing third, 24 seconds out of first and 5 seconds out of second, which I beat myself up about right when we got results, but it is what it is. I definitely will evaluate my strategy doing sprint enduros going forward. It took almost an hour to do the first 2 laps, and I was really worried about meeting the 4-hour time requirement. And in hindsight, I had plenty of time. I wound up finishing with something like an hour 15, hour 20 left. So I definitely could have done a little rest and recovery, refilled the Camelback, or not rode with one and stopped for water. So that's it for test day. We did that loop 4 times. So there's Jed Barlow and George Pennington, the 2 people that make so much happen in this sport. Not to mention, when I broke my hand at Shady Burrow, somehow or another, while being the race promoter, Judd came over and was able to check on me. Just seriously, two of the most awesome people you'll ever meet. So this is a recording of my second lap through Test B. The first one was pretty dusty, so I decided to not use any of the footage from it. We were a little bit more spread out by the time we got to this one, so you can see the course better. This canyon was super cool. Definitely one of my more enjoyable parts of the track. I liked how it was fast but kind of flowed up this canyon. Not to mention it was pretty. So getting back here in this test, you'll see start hitting some areas that are pretty fast. Trash pile. This was definitely one of those how brave are you sections. And we're going to come around this corner here in this great big fast open area going up this hill where you're just grabbing gears. This is one of those areas that we have to stay between the arrows. This was definitely a lot like California desert racing. So the back part of this test got a little tighter, but definitely not as tight as test A. This was a fun section that I rode faster every lap. Just kind of aired it off this hill. Which, strangely enough, looks like a little tiny bump on a GoPro. So once again, I'd like to say thank you to the RMEC and CORCS for putting on this event. It was super fun. I really look forward to doing another one in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. So that's it. those were the 2 loops of the Black Hills Sprint Enduro 2021.